What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. We've got a lot of huge news here real quick with a brand new Rarity dropping of all things coming out for the OCG. Please, please, please let the US have something nice. We're going to get into that, but first I've just got to say we've got a lot of championships in the house. Jesse Samick, SJC champ and YCS champ in the house. We got Aaron Furman, UDS champ and YCS champ as well. So between me, Billy, and them, we got like 9 championships, me being the lowest one on the totem pole in my own house. But if you'd like to see any content with those guys, let me know if you'd like to see something special with them, any questions you'd like to ask them, and I'll try to get back to you through the weekend without bugging them too much, and maybe we'll get a tabletop stream with like some past format plants and E-Dragon decks are made in the house, so maybe we'll be able to do that. Now, that being said, Furman also, I think, might be starting a Yugi tube at some point. We'll get more into that later on the channel. Let's go ahead and look at this. This looks beautiful. It has a red name, a new patterning, like a full edge sides that are foil, and it looks amazing. It says, the new Rarity 20th Secret Rare, extra secret rare foiling with red name text. The Maya Supreme King of Armageddon is confirmed for it. So it's like a Cybernetic Horizon is a new pack coming out that I guess Cybernetic means Cyberse, but we actually have a Cyber Dragon monster here in this video also. If you didn't catch the last video, go check it out. We've got a ton of new Demise cards and generic ritual support, which is very, very important, as well as including what seems to be a new archetype called the Devi Rituals, which are made to help ritual summoning as well. Just all this new generic ritual support is amazing. But what we're here for is the cards we haven't quite gone over yet. We've got Yugi Nono's Wet Dream, a new Cyber Dragon Link monster. We're going to go ahead and get into that first. This guy on the right, downward and left arrows, so both support only your field, and you know, it's Cyber Dragon, so it's going to be real easy to meet its requirement because it is a Link to Light Machine effect monster. An attack of 2100 like most Cyber Dragons do. Its links are left and bottom. Materials, 2 machine monsters including Cyber Dragon. So you need at least 1 Cyber Dragon, it would seem, for these materials, but the other monster can be any type of machine, it would seem, and that's really cool. So it makes sure that you can like use other cards with it in order to tutor this out. You can only use this card's second effect once per turn. The first effect, this name becomes Cyber Dragon while face up or in the graveyard. Very important for Cyber Dragons as a deck to give it that name and makes it even more powerful for the archetype. The second effect is huge, and we're going to talk about how many instances it can actually be used. During the battle phase, if this card did not attack, quick effect, you can target 1 machine monster you control with 2100 or more attack. It gains 2100 attack and defense until the end of this turn. Also, any battle damage either player receives from battle involving this card becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. So let's clear up some text here. It can still attack after it's used this effect. That's why the effect reads, any battle damage they receive from battles, including this card, becomes 0 the rest of the turn. So let's say your opponent has a 1700 monster outright and then a clear board, and you control this and like a Cyber Nova Dragon. You can use this effect and boost up Nova. You can then go ahead and attack that 1700 monster for 0 damage, and then attack direct with the full girth of this 2100 added bonus to the Nova Dragon. That's pretty darn good, if you ask me. Other tricks I was thinking would be limiter removal, although a lot of decks, even machine decks, seem not to play that really. It's just really cool that you've got this insane synergy of a card with an archetype already that gave them really what a lot of people were saying they didn't even need, a Link monster. But I think this really does take them to the next level. I think this really does a lot for the Cyber Dragon archetype, and I can't wait to see Yugi Nono's updates to the deck. I'm sure he's just like going crazy, running around the room. He's definitely going to have a video on this in the next couple of days, I imagine. I expect like a reaction to this and some deck profiles from him. Dragunity Knight Assalon, a level 10 Wind Dragon Synchro effect monster, attack 3300, Defense 2200. Materials, a Dragunity tuner, plus one or more non-tuner monsters. You can only use this card's second effect once per turn. You can banish one Dragunity monster from your graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls, banish it. So this is, in the stream, was instantly compared to Dark Arm Dragon, because it doesn't have a limit on this first effect, and in order to synchro up to this and throughout, you're gonna have, just synchro to luck. And it's pretty, these ads keep changing, man. Yu-Gi-Oh! Org, I'm trying to do videos, the ads keep changing sizes, please help. But seriously, it's really cool that you see, this card, you're gonna synchro up a lot into it, but you do specifically need a Dragunity tuner, so there is a cap on how you're gonna be able to summon. Then, if this synchro summoned card is, and its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, by battle or effect, you can special summon one Dragunity Synchro monster with 3,000 or less attack from your extra deck. This special summon is treated as a Synchro summon. So basically, helps the Dragunity pops out as it was intended and allows it to get its effects. That's also really cool for the archetype and adds this next kind of layer that they were really missing and needed. I'm surprised they went with one Legacy support Link monster. And then over here, they went with one Legacy support Synchro monster. It seems like Konami is just kind of considering all fronts when they're doing this sort of stuff. Like, we have Ravine, I believe, at 3 now. It's just crazy how they're looking at Legacy support and balancing it as they go. Like, the Cyber Dragon card, believe it or not, is balanced. It helps Cyber Dragon do what they already did, which is output damage, which it helps them go through things. Like, you get through a card and maybe make a direct attack with massive damage, but attack the enemy crab for massive damage, the old memes, yes. But it's just crazy how they're updating these decks. And to put it with the other cards, like, they're really going for, like, these not overpowered updates, but they're going throughout. They're leveling it, they're restricting it, they're making it work together, but they're not overpowering it. It feels like what they tried to do with Code of the Duelist, but more successful. Like, Trickstars did impact from Code of the Duelist, but a lot of the people felt like that set overall felt lackluster. This feels like updated Legacy support that doesn't fall short, but doesn't overdo it. And I would say all that happens. Like, this is definitely going to be automatically played in Cyber Dragons. It gives you an access arrow down, it gives you more power on the field, it helps your deck already do what it's doing. This Dragunity monster, it gives you way more power than you had before, it gives you removal in the deck that actually banishes, and then when destroyed, they can't even Ghost Ogre this card, because when destroyed, they're going to be able to Synchro Summon a really big monster as well, and continue to go through. Although Dragunities really do like to have their grave resources, so they kind of took it at the cost of what Dragunities really need to pile up, which is what it naturally does. I think Konami's doing a great job of designing the cards, and I really like it overall. Coming back to the Rarity, as I said I would, I'm not too hopeful on getting this. Like, they still have all the rarities in Japan. They have so many nice things. And Lenteo actually did a recent video talking about, are rarities boring? Like, I don't think rarities are necessarily things that we get as much of as the OCG does. When we look at the OCG, they get different kinds of products and really exciting things. They got a rarity collection of all things that we didn't get. And, like, I'm just apt to not think that we'll get something that their printing plants have made and processed anytime soon, anytime quick. I would love to see this implemented, but it's like their merchandise is better. They've got phone cases, they've got like Karibo neckties, they have all sorts of awesome merch for Yu-Gi-Oh! That is really missing out on the American market, and I don't know if that's distribution or what it is, but I'm not holding my breath for this rarity that I would love to have. I would almost think I have to go get the OCG product to have one of this kind of rarity card. Red secret rare text. It's so cool. Like this man with this axe with this bloody red name, and it excites me that it could exist. It excites me that it does exist somewhere, but until it's in my hands, I'm kind of just left a little emptier each time that there's something they have that we don't. So thanks for watching, guys. What did you think of all of today's updates? The demise cards, the crazy new Cyber Dragon link, and Synchro for Dragunities. Do you think they're really doing a good job, like I'm saying, with the updates to those legacy cards? Or do you find them a little lackluster since they just don't plow through and have that power? What do you guys realistically think about these updates to the game? I'm personally a huge fan. I love it when it's not going to be game-breaking, but it can work. And, of course, I like to see old things become game-breaking, but Demise broke the game once, so, like, I'd personally like to see it maybe top regionals and bubble into YCS's, maybe top as a rogue low-tier hero, but I don't want another Demise takeover, man.